We have come to a time where our drive to share things is the only thing required to bring real change.
The most severe drought in 60 years.
When you look at the Horn, the worst drought in 60 years is not insignificant. It's had huge impact, and it's likely that we're going to see more of it.
The UN says it doesn't know how many people have died, but that it's certainly in the tens of thousands, most of those children.
It's a catastrophe there, and there's no other way of describing it. It's the worst situation that we face anywhere.
It seems now more than ever, the idea that humanity wants to rid the world of poverty and suffering is prevalent in our society, but with recent controversial campaigns such as Kony 2012, causing major upsets for donors with good intentions, people have begun to ask not just why suffering is still so widespread in the 21st century, but why certain charities aren't using their money as efficiently and effectively as possible. This is by no means a negative thing, as it will only mean that charities that do make a significant impact will see an increase in funding, whereas those who waste time and money will be forced to improve or cease to exist. One such charity that has been making a noticeable change in the world is SaveTheChildren. SaveTheChildren have been working around the world for over 90 years to aid those who need our help the most, those who cannot help themselves. They don't just give aid that is effective, they give aid that is sustainable. They recognise that if their aid is working, their aid will no longer be needed eventually. Many charities are criticised for not following this idea, and however critical you may be of SaveTheChildren in this regard, it is important to realise why they are currently campaigning in East Africa. The East African hunger crisis puts millions of people, including hundreds of thousands of children, at risk, particularly in Ethiopia, Somalia and Kenya. The death toll is already well into the tens of thousands, many of those being children. Poor rainfall and the failure of key crops mean there is a major risk that this region of the world will decline into famine yet again. Families struggle to maintain even a single meal per day, and armed conflicts have become more regular as different tribes in the region fight over food aid just to survive. This is the worst hunger crisis in over 60 years, and this is a natural disaster that will again put the area into famine status. The security and integrity of the internet is threatened increasingly regularly by vague legislation such as SOPA, CISPA and the C-30 bill. Mainstream media's portrayal of internet users is that of a false dichotomy, with many users depicted as casual social networkers in need of greater protection, while those who use some of its more advanced capabilities, even less advanced ones, are deviants who abuse their online freedom. Moreover, the online gaming community is usually given a false image. A myth has been created that violent video games cause those who play them to become more prone to violent behaviour. Recent stories like that of Anders Breivik's horrific public attacks in Norway have been used to reinforce this myth, all without the acknowledgement that the game which Breivik apparently used to train for his planned attacks is played by tens of millions of gamers worldwide. This case was an extreme anomaly, and there have been many studies that conclude there is no link between video gaming and aggression. Overall, when it comes to the situation in Africa, the online and gaming communities, there is either not enough information or too much misinformation presented in mainstream media. Combined with his online viewership of well over 500,000 subscribers, his reputation in the competitive gaming and YouTube communities, and a $500,000 sponsorship by Razer gaming gear, the crew launched themselves into the most ambitious project yet. This is the original campaign video which aired on AtheneWins on 26th of March 2012.
I was really inspired when I saw the Kony 2012 video, to see how many people actually took the time to share it. But not long afterwards, the backlash started, and the people that were supporting it were starting to get criticized for not doing their homework and not researching the actual charity behind it. What I've learned from the Kony 2012 video is not whether or not we did our research right or wrong, but rather that an inspiring idea to bring change and help other people out can go more viral than anything else. Regardless of the debate surrounding invisible children, the phenomenon of the film's virality shows that the common perception of being powerless against all that is injustice in the world, and the idea that people tend to be indifferent, is obviously inaccurate. The internet has come to such a point that the only thing we need to overcome this widespread belief is to collectively reach out for what we believe is right, and often real change will follow. The whole way in which charities operate is changing because it's not anymore just about sharing wealth, but also knowledge, information, opinions and feelings. So I'm trying out a little experiment. I'm launching Operation ShareCraft. It's a project focused on charities that have been thoroughly researched and proven to be efficient and effective. I decided to start by focusing on Save the Children's work in the Horn of Africa. It has not been covered so much by mainstream media, and this is where millions of people right now are struggling to survive the worst hunger crisis in 60 years. Whether or not this experiment is going to work will only depend on whether people believe that their actions will matter or not. That is how small the difference is between raising $1 million or raising nothing. And I know I'm setting the bar high, but the goal of this experiment is to set an example and show that we have come to a time where our drive to share things is the only thing required to bring real change.
The support the crew received can best be described by a word that seems to be used often quite flippantly, but in this case honestly. The support was inspiring. It backed up what Athene had said about how collectively reaching out can make real change happen. The major contributor to support has to be Fundrazr, the new fundraising platform which ShareCraft used. It's a platform that doesn't just make it easy for people to donate, but enables people to create their own sub-fundraisers. This gives anyone the opportunity to raise money for the cause, even if they cannot donate their own money. For many smaller YouTubers, this was an opportunity to use what little fame they had to promote a good cause, while also promoting themselves, as the more their sub-fundraiser receives donations, the higher they would move up on the campaign leaderboard. The following sequence features many of the videos made by YouTubers with varying degrees of fame. It reflects how inspirational the campaign was and the passion of internet users and gamers to support charity and go completely against the negative, stereotypical mainstream portrayal they face.
Because my channel is very small right now and I probably won't have the size to do a lot. And I also hope that you guys don't get us wrong in some kind of oh my god, what the hell, what does he think who he is? But finally I decided to put this up, because I simply think it's right and I stand fully behind it and I want to support this.
It's a beautiful day for charity, actually. It's a beautiful 100 days for charity.
We are one of the biggest community in the world. We can make changes in our world.
And many big names have stepped up to the mark to help. No, I'm not exactly a big name, but I'd like to help in any way that I can.
And ShareCraft is a project where Athene is attempting to raise $1 million in 100 days for Save the Children to help starving children in Africa.
Millions of people, most of them innocent children, are at risk in the Horn of Africa due to the worst hunger crisis in 60 years.
It is a charity to help the children in Africa, whether for food, water, schooling, whatever it is, the money is going right into them.
And the idea is that it's like a social media based charity thing where you can make a sub fundraiser, and you can see how much your sub raiser earns and so on. You can see the total bar go up towards the goal of $1 million.
If you've never heard of Save the Children before, you can Google them, but they are a very long-standing, reputable charity that has been partnered with like every major organization and political group and celebrity. Basically, they're legit times 10.
And I want you guys to help out, even if you just donate 50 cents.
Donating even 1 penny can help someone desperately in need of food in Africa. Let's help reach the $1 million mark or more.
$1 million, which makes such a big difference to poverty.
When I was supporting charity and everything, I never thought that I would be able to share that passion with my viewers.
The goal is to raise $1 million in 100 days.
$1 million in 100 days? Sounds crazy.
$1 million in 100 days.
$1 million in the next 100 days.
$1 million for charity.
If they can raise that much in a few days, that is amazing.
This is really showing what the internet can do when we come together as one.
Together we can do this, man. It's gonna be awesome.
The amount and size of initial donations exceeded expectations the crew had after they had raised $23,000 for charity previously. The extra information about the cause, the promise of free, regular and live entertainment, and the chance to win Razer gear gave the crew a great start, and they had raised more than $80,000 in 6 days. Little over 2 weeks since the project began, the fundraiser was close to achieving $250,000, and the crew made a special announcement during their live stream. In this announcement, they expressed their feelings concerning the apparent lack of support from other communities. They did not have sour feelings towards those that had not helped them, but worries that certain members of the Athene and World of Warcraft community had took it on themselves to support the event by contributing most of the money donated. It seemed other big communities had their hands full with other projects, so the crew would have to do something more spectacular to raise awareness of the event.
I have an announcement to make today, and we've been thinking about it a lot.
We're doing this because we know that it can get big, and we hope it's going to get bigger. And with this, with our contribution, it has so much chance of getting bigger.
I've just been thinking, like, what can we do in order to spread awareness around this matter? What can I do to do it? And I came up with an idea that a lot of people might not like to hear, but I've been really thinking about it, and I think like it is the best thing I can do. Right now we don't have the technology or the ability with Save the Children to show the groundwork at the moment. They're working on that, but right now it's not the case. And that was one of the reasons that I was thinking, like, yeah, this is really going to spread. It's going to spread awareness. People are going to see where the money goes. This is going to sound really crazy, and I've been thinking very hard about it, and I've done research, and it's going to be done in a very responsible way. I'm going to go on hunger strike until we reach $1 million. Doing something like that is going to be a very learning experience for me as well, because I will experience what they experience. Like, when placed in a grander scheme, to say it like that, when placed in a context where you see how much potential it has to actually save people's lives and bring a lot of attention to the cause, I think like what I'm doing is a very small sacrifice.
It's also important to realize we're going on with the stream just as we were doing. Like, we're not turning the stream into some sort of like money begging hello, I'm not eating, please donate kind of thing.
No.
So it's his personal decision. It's something that we're adding to it to make a statement. It's not gonna affect much beyond that.
This is the kind of things that get international media attention, and it's not just attention of, oh, a gamer doing an event and nobody gives a shit. It's actually people gonna tune into the live stream worldwide, and if people get faced with a hunger crisis, with a hunger strike live, their incentive to donate is a million times bigger. I respect if people don't agree, but I think in the grand scheme of things, it's the best thing I can do.
On top of live streaming every night, Athene now had the personal challenge of water fasting with the altruistic hope that his struggle would cause many viewers to empathise with those struggling in the Horn of Africa, and this spectacular feat would force more mainstream publications to report on Operation ShareCraft. Nearly a week into his hunger strike, Athene and the crew announced another special event during the campaign. Morale, another member of the crew, would be joining in the hunger strike.
If she can make it 3 days, I will donate $2,000 for charity. And if you don't make it 3 days, she will donate $500 to charity.
500 that I don't even have.
But she's gonna work for it. You're gonna go for work for it.
Yeah.
But this is not all. I want to involve the viewers as well. If you guys want to win some Razer gear, the easiest Razer gear you will ever win, you should make a video called Morale Athene Challenge, and you should say whether she's gonna make it or whether she's gonna fail, and when she fails, say how long she will actually be able to get it. And if you guys get the closest, you will actually win Razer gear. I will just look it up and everything. On top of that, what I would love to do is for everyone to join us Saturday to strike for 1 day, just to make a statement. And also, like, if you have your experiences or whatever, you can put it in a video and you can put it online so we can raise awareness around this OP ShareCraft, because a lot of people don't realize how hard it is to strike for 1 day. So it's 24 hours.
Within hours, videos were being uploaded by fans of the stream who wanted to be more involved with the event, and after only a day there was more mainstream coverage of ShareCraft. It seemed that involving thousands of viewers with something as significant as a hunger strike was enough to provoke media attention. Furthermore, it garnered more belief from both fans and the crew that ShareCraft would be successful. Less than a week after this event, and after a substantial increase in media coverage, Athene ended his hunger strike at the request of his fans and continued the live stream as was originally planned. Throughout the following weeks, the team continued to hit their daily target of $5,000, which was matched by DC Entertainment, supported by the community, fueled by their Razer sponsorship. Although at times the stream moved from gaming to topics such as physics or simply educating and spreading awareness for the cause, there were always thousands of viewers watching every night. On a couple of special occasions, to show and prove where donors' money was going, the team managed to collaborate with Save the Children on the live stream. Online celebrities famous within the gaming community such as Total Biscuit, Swifty and the Yogscast supported the event in various ways, sometimes giving the team motivation when they needed it most. During DreamHack Summer 2012, the event came to its amazing conclusion.
Hi DreamHack, hi Sweden. I want to show you guys something. This is what you guys have raised the past 80 days. Almost $1 million for the Horn of Africa, for Save the Children, for children facing the worst hunger crisis in 60 years. I wanted to hit that $1 million live on stage right now. Do you guys think we're gonna hit it right now? Yeah! I've talked to all my audience, to everyone, to the following, and I've gathered and rallied them to get the $1 million here live on stage. So we're gonna be refreshing the page right now, and we're gonna be seeing how the donations are going live. And I want, if we hit the $1 million, I want you guys to go crazy.
We've hit it!
We've hit it?
We've hit $1 million!
We've hit $1 million! We've hit $1 million!
ShareCraft officially ended on July 4th, but it reached its goal well within that time. It raised over $1 million for a genuinely reputable charity, with donations from over 20,000 donors. It proved that when we collectively reach out for things we believe in, real change does follow. It's more evidence to dispel the myth that gamers are slacktivists, misinformation still being propagated by mainstream media sources, despite the gaming community's ongoing campaign for net neutrality. It's more evidence that gamers do care about the real world, and we make up a bigger majority of the world than mainstream media lets on. It's more evidence that giving feels good, and that a small donation can go a long way. The aim of this short film is that too, a way to show people that giving feels good. It's unnecessary for charities to feel like the only way to get donations is to make donors feel guilty for not donating. This film could also be seen as an example of how fame should be used responsibly, and as many other role models in the entertainment world would agree, no matter how much you disagree with your fans, many of them will see you as a role model. Athene is a great role model, and I have no doubt that this will not be the last we see from him in doing massive charity events. If you enjoyed this video, please like and favourite it, and consider sharing it with your friends. Thanks for watching.